Okay, so how did you start your journey of learning this language?
Okay, so in my case, I started when there was lockdown time. That was 2020. So at that time there was no work. Our office was closed. So I was watching some videos on YouTube. Then I came across one of the videos uploaded by one of the students of Lepingo app. So when I saw that, then I thought that I can also start learning spoken English, taking classes with the tutors on that app, and that's how I started. So it has been more than 4 years now that I am taking classes with the tutors on Klepingo, English theory, and with some co-learners that I'm speaking with now like that. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay, so did you learn grammar too?
I learned grammar when I was in office because what happened when I have to write something official letters or notes, so I have to be perfect when it comes to grammar. So at that time I learned, like particularly not all tense and subject. This called subject verb agreement. All these things I learned at that time. Only this much.
Okay, and it is very important because if we are going to use I mean, incorrect helping verb, at that time it will be a different kind of it will be in a different sense.
Even even though I know some rules about grammar, like agreement of subject and verb, but while speaking, I make mistakes. Still now, I do that.
It's not a big problem actually. No one is perfect in this world. Everybody makes mistakes, so it's common.
Yeah,
But
but I keep on do that. So I have to be very careful because once, twice, thrice, okay. So when you know that you are making mistakes, so you should correct it. So in my case, it is not happening. I have to be very cautious while speaking.
yeah, if we make mistakes, after that we should try to improve it.
Yes, that's what I was telling. Yeah.
Do you listen to something in English too?
Yeah. I watch YouTube videos like English conversation, sometimes podcast, and earlier I used to watch like this TED Talk video, TED Talk speeches.
Okay, yeah, because listening is also important.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah, because if we can speak English, but we cannot listen and understand anyone. At that time, it is a very tough task.
Yeah, and whatever we have learned, that is our native language. So we learned by listening only. Because when we were kid, we did not do anything other than listening to our parents, our teachers, or the people around us. So that's how we learn the language, like Hindi or in my case, Bengali. So we did not have. I did not have to study differently for learning speaking part of those languages. I learned only by learning. Sorry, listening to those languages. So that's why I think it's very important. Listening part is very important.
Yeah, because we can know about the correct pronunciation of the words too. And
Yeah, yes, yes,
if we have got good environment for listening, at that time we can speak just by listening,
yes.
right? Because since you got a good kind of environment, especially for speaking English, that's why you could develop this kind of interest, especially for this language. Otherwise, it is very tough for those students who come from a rural background and who do not have good environment of English.
Yeah, right, right. In my case also, because I don't have such kind of environment. I never got a chance to speak in English with anybody here, except once or twice in my office when I had to speak with my boss. Other than that, I didn't have any opportunity. So sometimes whenever I get an opportunity to speak with somebody, if I go somewhere in some office or like any restaurant, or if I get an opportunity, I take the opportunity, I grab the opportunity and I try to speak because of this practice.
Yeah, practice is important because we know a lot of things about this language, but we do not practice, so we cannot speak it.
Yeah, right.
Even I have seen there are many students and there are many friends of mine who want to speak it and they have good knowledge, but they cannot speak because they are not in the habit of practicing it, speaking it.
Yes, yes. Without practice, it's very difficult. You cannot thrive.
Yeah. And those who are practicing it daily, it is very easy for them because they can speak anywhere. Their mind,
Yes,
their minds work according to that.
yes, yes. So, how long have you been practicing online? I mean, that we are speaking now. Okay, so one to one. So, how long have you been doing this?
No, if I talk about practicing on this app, so I became active here around 1 month ago. And
Mm-hmm.
if I talk about doing the practice, so I mean, I used to practice, but not on this app. I started doing that practice around 6 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so I used to practice it daily.
Daily.
Yeah.
Okay, so 6 years ago, so with whom did you practice? Online or just you had some environment offline?
So in the beginning, when I was there in my village, because at this time I am in the city. So in the beginning, when I started my journey, at that time I used to live in the village. And there was no environment like speaking English, and I had no friend for talking. So I used to read the books of spoken English, and after that, I used to go to the forest. I used to
Okay.
speak all those sentences alone.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, like
Right.
what are you doing? How are you? Sometimes I used to become, you know, like judge, sometimes teacher, principal, sometimes something else. I'm talking with the students, and sometimes I used to become a student. I'm talking with principal, teacher, like that.
Wow, that's a very innovative idea, I would say. You did it alone. Thank.
Yeah, because I had no other option except that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
but you need to have this, patience. I think when you have to speak alone, because I
yeah,
tried, but whenever I tried, I just failed. Actually, I could not continue with it. And that's why I think it's great who ever doing this actually, because it is
yeah,
not very easy to speak self talking for such a long time, for such a long period of time. Sometimes you get bored also, but if you have that in you that you want to have something doing that, then you can do it. So that's what you are doing, and you have done this, and that is reflecting in your speech. You are speaking very well for that. Yeah.
thank you, sir, for saying so. But yeah, so in this way, I started learning this thing. But there was a problem. The problem was this that there was no one who could tell me about my mistakes, especially in the pronunciation. So I used to mispronounce a lot of words. Like there is a word that is we say photographer, right?
Yeah.
But that is photographer. And
Photographer, yes.
yeah, photographer. He is a photographer. And I like photography and not photography. Like
Yes.
not biology, but biology. Not democracy, but democracy. I love democracy. We live in a democratic country. And now you can feel that yeah, this is the right way.
Yes, yes, right.
Right.
Yeah, you have rightly mentioned that there was none to give you the feedback because you are speaking, you are everything was going good, but when it came to giving you feedback, there was none. So we need someone to give us feedback how we are doing. Yeah, that is necessary.
Yeah, and later I somebody told me about this thing that you speak well, you have good knowledge of English, but you can mispronounce. I mean, you mispronounce the words while speaking, so it creates a kind of confusion in understanding what you want to say actually. So for that,
Yes.
I saw some teachers, and then I came in contact with foreign teachers, like as I told you, American teacher who teaches in Los Angeles, America. So I came in contact with the teacher, and the teacher recommended me for buying some books and dictionaries, and then I read all those things, and after that, I got whatever I am. I mean, I became whatever I am.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's good. So you have acquired these things like accent and The fluency also. So I had a misconception. I thought that if I can speak in a very PD manner, that is fluency. I had that kind of misconception. So later I came to know while speaking with tutors, you don't have to speak in a very speedy manner. You have to pause where it is needed to pause, take and the modulation and this what is called another thing. I just forgot that one.
Intonation.
Intonation, yeah. So all these things are necessary. Otherwise, you'll be talking like a robot.
Yeah, and robot, whenever we are going to talk with some person, at that time, that person won't be able to understand this thing, whether this
Yes.
person is speak further or he is going to stop here.
Yes.
Like I can tell you about this thing, as just you said, that intonation. So how it works? The rule says whenever we have to speak a simple sentence, like I went to the market. So this is a simple sentence. If we have to speak this sentence, so according to intonation, in the beginning we have to start speaking with a loud voice, and slowly and gradually we have to just slow down our voice in the end. So it will become like this. I went to the market. I went to the market. It means now it is clear that I will not speak anything, and now it is your turn. Now you have to speak something further. But if I'm going to change this modulation, like in the beginning, I mean, in the first sentence, I spoke loudly in the beginning and slowly in the end. This thing showed that I was going to stop there. But this time I'm going to do opposite like this. I went to the market. Last time I said, I went to the market. It means I was about to stop there, but this time I have to speak something ahead. So I will say, I went to the market. This is a rising tone, and this thing shows that this person will not stop here. He has to speak something ahead.
Yes.
If I have to say like this, I went to the market for buying some vegetables.
Yes.
So it will be like that. And there are so many rules in intonation, sometimes wavering intonation, how we have to use it, sometimes falling and rising and all these kind of things.
Yes. That makes it beautiful when somebody hears you, you're speaking. So all those things made it so beautiful that you can grab the attention of that person that you are talking to.
Yeah, and it helps in having a good conversation. You can feel this thing whenever I speak this time. So you can feel this thing that he will not speak ahead or he is going to speak ahead.
Yes.
Both of us have good knowledge of intonation. At that time, there won't be any kind of mismatch. Like sometimes you will start speaking from your side and I will start speaking at the same time. So there is a kind of confusion. We cannot understand whether he will speak or I will speak.
Yes. Right.
It is because of, intonation.
Yes. So the city that you are living in which city do you live?
Sultanpur in UP
Sultanpur.
district
Okay.
at this time. So do you still practice?
Yeah, I practice. Even today, I have a session with one tutor. So I'll going to end up this session after a few minutes because I have a session from 8 p.m. With one tutor that is on English Theory app.
Okay, so have you paid some money there?
Yeah. All these are paid sessions.
Okay, how much money did you give?
It is a bit costly also because for per session it comes to around 350 rupees for 20 to 25 minute sessions.
For 5 sessions?
No, for one session.
For one session,
350 rupees. 350.
350 for one session?
Yes.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's too costly. Earlier, I used to take session with foreigners also, native speaker like on Cambly. If you heard about that Cambly app,
Yeah,
that was very costly. So I also took some session with tutors on Cambly, like some tutors from USA, South Africa, Turkey, like that, UK. But now it is very costly. I cannot afford it.
Yeah, that is really very costly. When I have talked to some foreigners, their own family, like America, Britain, and like that. But I wanted to know about my, English, how I speak.